Thank you for taking a few moments to click over to this video. And I get it, you're scrolling, you've probably got a lot going on. So I want to keep this very short and sweet, like 5 to 6 minutes. And I'm going to give you an introduction and then an executive overview. Everything you need to know about the credit, none of what you don't. So quick agenda, we'll get into introductions. We'll talk about an overview and history of the credit, what activities qualify, what would make you eligible. We'll look at the costs that qualify and help you understand what is going to drive this credit value. And then we'll talk about next steps. So kicking us off, my name is Justice Mullins. I'm an R&D tax credit consultant at ADP. Now, ADP is the largest payroll company in the world. We've got over 1 million clients in 140 different countries, but I work specifically in our incentives and tax credits practice. Again, specializing just with this one federal program. I focus a lot of my time on finding software developers and manufacturers that haven't heard about this or don't know about it. And yeah, that's what I do. I'm based down here in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale. To my right, you've got Shannon Biediger. She is the in-house subject matter expert. She's been in the tax credit consulting space for 6.5 years. She's a board certified medical doctor. She's based out of Central Texas, and we bring her in anytime a client's business is overly technical. So what are we talking about today? We're looking at a federal tax credit program. It's offered by the U.S. government, and it's for companies that innovate. It's designed to incentivize you guys to keep these innovative jobs here in the United States. And this is a big opportunity. It's a huge opportunity. This is by far the government's largest tax credit program. It cost them, this R&D credit cost them $20 billion per year in lost revenue. But what's wild and what I think is crazy is that only 1/3 of eligible companies actually claim the credit. So quick history. This was introduced by Congress back in 1981. At the time, it was initially just for large corporations. You had to have more than $51 million in revenue, and you had to be bringing something to market that was new to the world, never before seen. Well, this all changed in 2015. Congress passed the PATH Act. They eliminated the revenue requirement, and they also made a change stating that the innovation or the creation or improvement only needed to be relevant or new to the taxpayer. And so what this did is it spurred local and regional economic growth. Now businesses can claim this credit for becoming more efficient, increasing their efficiency and improving within their own company. Now, there's 2 ways that you can benefit from this tax credit. The first is that your business is profitable and you owe tax at the end of the year. You can apply this credit dollar for dollar to that income tax liability. So if you owed $20,000 to the government, but you have a $20,000 tax credit, that's $20,000 that you get to keep in the business bank account. Second way is that you can actually apply this credit to the employer portion of your payroll tax. So employer FICA, so employer Social Security, Medicare, you can use this toward that if you're a qualifying business. Now, what activities and industries qualify? Now, the truth is any business could qualify for this credit. It's what's called an activity-based credit. Now, we find success with 4 main industries: software tech, manufacturing, biotech, and pharma. If you fall into those categories, very, very likely it is that you're eligible. And the question now is like, okay, what activities, what exactly do I need to do to become eligible? The IRS lays it out for us very black and white. They give us what's called the 4-part test. And the first part of this test does a really good job here. So it states that the activity must relate to the development or the improvement of either the functionality, the performance, the reliability, or the quality of one of these business components. So if you're creating or improving a product, a process, a software, a technique, a formula, or an invention, very likely that you're eligible. Now, there's 3 other bars you'll need to clear. Your activity must be technological in nature. You've got to be working to eliminate some air of uncertainty, and you've got to be undergoing some process of experimentation. If you're seeing this and you're like, you know what, I do a lot of these things. The next step from here is you would schedule a call with me. We'll get properly introduced. I'll learn more about your business. And you'll see these exact same slides again. We'll just talk through them collaboratively. And together we'll assess whether or not this may be an opportunity. Now, what costs? Let's say, okay, so we get past, we're eligible. What costs actually go into the credit calculation? Number 1 would be wages. So any wages paid to employees involved in these qualifying activities, any of their supervisory or administrative staff. That's huge. That's a big driver of the credit. Wages tend to increase your qualifying research expenditures quite a bit. Second, any contract research. So if you engage with a third-party company to help with these activities, those costs can be included, supply costs, and then cloud computing costs. So as you can see, this could be very lucrative if you're a manufacturer. Certainly if you're a software developer, you're paying good money in wages. You've probably got a good amount of monthly costs going toward cloud computing hosting. So where do we go from here? Justice, I think this is interesting. I may be eligible. I don't know. I'd like to learn more. what you'll do is you'll click below, schedule a 45-minute conversation with myself, completely complimentary. We'll get properly introduced. I'll learn a little bit about your business. We can pull your tax returns. We can look to see, okay, A, is this company eligible? And then B, I can help you scope out how much the tax credit could be for your business. And then from there, if that's a meaningful amount of money, if that's something you want to pursue, we could talk about what it would look like to work with us to help you get this credit. So we do work on a contingency basis. We charge a 25% success-based fee. It takes us about 6 to 8 weeks to complete a project, and we don't bill a single dollar until the project is completed, at the end of the 6 to 8 weeks. And we've got very, very friendly billing options, so you can spread the cost, into thirds over the next 3 quarters. You don't have to pay us all at once. We like to get you this credit back in your hands before you're giving us all of the money. So that is the situation. Thank you for taking the time to click over. If you think this is an opportunity worth exploring, schedule 45 minutes for us to connect, and hope to see you on the other side. Talk soon.